Hello everyone. I am making this video today to talk about the Russian ambassador that was shot in Ankara. His name was Andrei Karlov, and some people, I guess depending on how old you are, how much television you've watched, and having some common sense, you know the video is completely fake. The whole setup there was fake. Russians, that's not the part that's fake where Russians get bumped off. That happens all the time in certain places in the world. And I'm not saying Turkey is that great a place. An ambassador could get assassinated there. This news story is not getting enough attention to warrant it actually being a real event. It's kind of like, it's for Twitter, it's for Facebook, it's for a quick story, and that's it, and no one's going to care about it 2 weeks from now. But I'm pointing out things about it that are obviously fake. Okay, so he was at an art museum having some speech about whatever, and this gunman was one of his bodyguards, evidently, and shot him a few times in the back, and then yelled Allahu Akbar, usual kind of stuff. So he was Islamic, which is quite impossible to be Islamic, a closet case Islamic, and be hiding behind an ambassador. I'm going to point out some physical aspects that make that entire setup fake. For starters, multiple gunshots are fired. That part, it's debatable with the kind of the video that was taken, if the sound quality would have been accurate to how loud the gunfire would have been. But at any rate, Andrei Karlov falls down, but he falls down awkwardly. I've seen different videos on the subject, and I've seen him actually almost step over to the side, and then somehow he's falling forward in the video, the quick 2 seconds you see as he's being shot, which would be plausible when you got shot in the back. But the problem is, when it pans towards him being on the ground, he's on his back. So what is it? Is he falling forward? Because you got to remember, when you're being shot in the back, it's pushing you forward. You're not. It doesn't. Push you forward and drag you back. Sure, your knees are meant to be bent that way, but the force of the bullets and the shock of being shot at that close a range, it's going to send you forward. And that's one of the other things that's a bit stupid about that video is, he isn't going to care if he's just been shot, even if he knew he was being shot or not. That amount of pain, he's going to fall forward straight away into the podium. He's going to knock the podium over. But he didn't do that. He stepped to the side and looked as though he was leaning forward as he's falling down, and then ended up on his back. He's a big fatso, so there's no context, a bigger visual of him and any potential blood splatter that there will always be with gunfire. And you'd be surprised. It goes like, I don't know how many feet, but I've seen enough CSI episodes to know that it doesn't just, it's not like popping a zit, okay? There's a fair amount of blood, and it'll splash like 11 feet, 10 feet. Easily. But no. The background where all the paintings were, with the stone white walls, the gray concrete ground. I did see a puddle of blood pouring out of him as he was lying down on the ground, although I must admit it wasn't moving. It remained consistent with him being on the ground, and he looked as though he'd been on the ground quite a while, actually. CNN did say that a witness had heard 8 shots, and I guess, you know, in the heat of the moment, that is possible. That's what they thought they heard. And that they were trying to revive him. But from the looks of that video, he was long dead. So, because they had to confirm that he was dead. Because apparently he was still clinging to life or something like that. But no, he looked like, it looked like an inanimate body lying there on the ground. And that's not even the only stupid thing about that video. As you see the gunman, he fires the shots, and you see him fall down, and then he starts yelling the things he was saying, but his gun is down. So in that split second where you're hearing the last fire shots, and then the camera pans to him, his gun is down. How did he do that in a second? Less than a second. How did he do it? The answer is simple. The gun was never pointed at him. And whoever filmed that, if that were a real event, I gotta give him that. He's got nerves of steel, because you don't see anybody in the crowd. You don't see anybody in the crowd in any of the videos that I've seen on this subject. It's only like a 25-second long clip, so there isn't that much information to be had in that scene. But there's no panicked motion with the cameraman. I mean, we like to think for propaganda purposes that, oh, the Middle East, they're tough as nails, the Russians are invincible, fearless. Okay, yeah, right, but guess what? Everybody feels fear. I don't care how well trained you are, how disciplined you are, you will feel fear at some point in your life. Happens to everyone. It's inescapable. I'm picking on this guy in particular. It was a YouTuber by the name of Domus Live News. I don't know anything about him. He was just in the top 6 searches when I YouTubed the ambassador being shot video. He put a picture of the shooter with his face blurred out on the ground, evidently because he had been shot. His face was blurred, and you could see where the bullet hole was, which was on his right side. You see a little bit of blood, but it's not splurting, it's not pouring out. Even the ground he was on was clearly different than that of the art gallery. He looked like he was in like a parking lot or something like that. The ground just looked, it didn't look the same. It looked like parking lot, underground parking lot ground. And it just, with him having his speech and him going on and on for however long, I have no idea how long he was talking for. I mean, I vaguely looked into this subject, but I felt like I'd gained enough information to make a productive video about it. The thing is, I don't think he would have moved. He was doing his speech, and I think he said something about death will release him or something like that. I think I heard that on CNN or one of the other YouTube posts about it. I think I heard it on Domus Live News. Yes, from his perspective, him being shot would be much better than being handed over to the Russians and let them do whatever they want to him. But the whole thing was totally fake. There's just like so many physical and other aspects involved that determine that the validity of this video and the validity of the scene as a total are completely bogus. Yeah, the news story on this was not very good. This is another errand driver type video that I'm making. Another what happened to Luca Magnotta after he's been apprehended, what's happening to him right now, and that sort of video. It's kind of like it's a story that happened, but people are going to forget about it in a few weeks or even tomorrow. I would not be surprised if I bring up this topic to someone tomorrow and they go, "What? Who?" I don't even know. I don't even care. And they would have reason to, because media, national news, and regular internet access, YouTube, Facebook, are painting a picture of propaganda to influence people who don't know any better and are looking for news. And if they're told it's alternative news, if they're told it's going against the grain, it's going against modern media, it's standing up to the big government and the new world order and everything, particularly young people are going to be predisposed to wanting to believe it. Well, as we know, the Turkey had shot down one of Russia's spy planes, or one of its planes, whatever. So this is an artificial way of ramping up tension between the two countries. I think there's a lot of backdoor deals being done, money being transferred, who knows what else. There's a lot going on this scene that we don't know about. But the picture we're painted, particularly in the Western world, I don't know if in places like Russia or Turkey, what their news outlets are showing, what they're saying, how they're saying it, why they're saying it. I've never been to those places. I'm probably never going to go to those places. So I don't know. But I highly doubt they're telling them the truth about anything. Because what people don't understand is that most people are stupid. Really stupid. I don't think I'm really stupid. I just think I'm a little bit stupid. I'm a little bit less stupid than your average stupid person. And I'm okay with that. I don't have to be considered intelligent. I don't have to think of a way to make zillions of dollars and drive fancy cars and go with a different attractive woman every week and all that other sort of stuff. But I like to think that I'm not just a zombie walking around being fed information and having my thoughts and my brain contained to this small little square that the people who control the media, which would be, Big Brother and all those other things, because they got a hand in it. It's the propaganda. It's what your average everyday citizen thinks. It's important what they think, and they care about that. So that's why they're so obsessive about how people think and why they think, and they have this need to control how they think. That's why they create fake news stories like the Russian ambassador being shot in Ankara. They're going to continue to do this, and my video isn't going to make much difference. It's probably not even going to get very many views. But I am going to say that I disagree. I think that these stupid videos are dumbing down people so bad that it's just inevitable they're going to wake up one day and realize how stupid they've been. Because some people are, they want to believe they're being told the truth. They want to believe that we live in a nice, pleasant, global community, and that what news is told to us is facts. It's the truth. But it's not. It's watered down, made for video, reenactments of possible things that may have happened. Probably not. But anyway, that's about all I got to say about this. Especially as my dad's talking in the background quite loudly. Anyway, that's my take on it. Talk to you guys later. See ya.